Hello students, today we're going to look at how to do some manual rigging with Rigify in Unity. So this is a very basic tutorial on what you can do if you want a little bit more control over the bones in your character. So you've worked on this character for a while and you try to upload it to Mixamo and it's just not accepting it, or maybe you just are not happy with the results, but you'd still like to use Mixamo. So this tutorial is going to be the bare minimum that you need to control the bones in order to get your model to upload to Mixamo. So the first thing that we want to do is install the Rigify add-on. So in order to do that, we're going to go to Edit, Preferences. Let's go ahead and search for Rigify. Check that box, and that's all we need. Once Rigify is installed, we can install some default rigs here. So I can do that by putting Shift A to get to the Add menu. Alternately, I can go up here to the Add menu, and I'm going to go to an armature. And the one that we want is the basic human meta rig. And we can see right here that my armature's been put into place. Not quite the way I want it. That's okay because we're going to adjust it. So let's go over here to the Object Data Properties tab. If I click that, I can adjust something so I can see it a little bit better. I'm going to go to Viewport Display and say View in Front, and that's going to make it so I can see the bones on top of my character here. So we can see right here that this is not entirely lined up. So let's go ahead and start moving some of these bones around in order to make it so they line up. So I'm just going to move, here's my armature. I push tab to go into edit mode. Once I'm in edit mode, I can say I want to move this bone right here. This is the head bone, so I'm going to grab it and just along the Z-axis, move it here. And you'll notice that this other spine bone got really large when I moved that. That's okay, they adjust automatically. I'm going to grab the top of that head bone there, and maybe orthographic view be better here. And I'm just going to push G for grab and then Z on the Z-axis to extend this. So that is now my head bone. I can do the same with these. Grab this and then move it along the Z. And I'm going to make this my neck bone, and this is neck bone part 2. Let's go back into orthographic view so I can see a better view of what I'm doing. Maybe make this one a little bit higher. This one goes here. Okay, now I can start to, let's move the arms. I want to move the arms at the same time, so in order to make sure that those are working, I'm going to hold down Shift while I'm selecting this so I can move the whole arm all at once. I'm going to click the X symmetry button here, so whatever I do to one side happens to the other. Grab this with Z, move it up, and there we go. These two bones right here, these are the shoulder bones. So let's grab this one and move it to the shoulder. Move it on the X, and then move it a little bit on the Z. And then I'm going to grab the whole arm right here. And I'm going to grab this and move it. I can use R to rotate it so it lines up a little bit better. I'm going to move just this joint right here. So this is the shoulder, this one right here, this is the elbow. This one right here is the wrist joint. And this one right here is the hand. So just getting these all into position. Like that. Okay, so after that, we're just going to move all the rest of the bones. I'll go ahead and speed this up so you don't need to watch every second of how to do this. Okay, so now we need to make sure that our object that we want to animate is attached to our armature here. So first, let's make sure that we're not in edit mode. Get back into object mode. And at this point, we're just going to go through and select everything that we want to animate. So not the camera, not the light, but let's click chest, and then I'm holding down control while I select all of these other pieces. When I reach the meta rig, I'm going to skip over that. I need to make sure that that little bit is last. And then once all of my pieces are selected, I'm going to select my meta rig. I know that I did it correctly because everything's selected, but I see that the meta rig, the armature, is kind of yellowish. That's how I know the last item that I selected. In order to parent it now, I'm going to hold Control P, and then I want to select with automatic weights. Once all of that is done, I'm ready to export. So let's go ahead and export our file as an FBX. That way it'll go into Mixamo. And I'm going to call this one right here. My original was called Robot. I'm going to call this Robot Rigged. And I'm going to export the FBX. Before I do, let's go ahead and make sure I'm getting empty armature mesh other, but not the camera or the lamp. And let's go ahead and export. Headed over to Mixamo here. If I upload, I can bring this in. There's my robot rigged. And then we'll wait for it to process. Okay, and there you go. So you'll notice that this time it didn't ask me to define all of the joints because it's looking at it, it's seeing that there's already a rig in Mixamo. So this is ready to go. I can click next, and we see that my character is in and praying for some reason. Let's go ahead and see how well this robot breakdances with the flare animation. And it turns out that they breakdance just fine.